Good evening and welcome to Newsmax Prime. I'm J.D. Hayworth. Of prime interest tonight, suddenly Sarah. Sarah Palin puts her star power and her conservative cred behind the candidacy of Donald Trump. This was the scene earlier this evening in Ames, Iowa, as Governor Palin and Donald Trump appeared at this rally on the campus of Iowa State University, rallying support for the billionaire-turned-presidential candidate less than 2 weeks before the all-important Iowa caucuses.
Todd and I and a couple of our friends here from Alaska lending our support for the next president of our great United States of America, Donald J. Trump. Are you ready to make America great again?
For more on this story, let's bring in our political panelist, our political panel for their expert analysis. Phoning in from Nashville, Tennessee, we're pleased to be joined by Scottie Nell Hughes. Scottie Nell, chief political correspondent for USA Radio Networks, and Skyping in from Connecticut, former presidential advisor and Newsmax TV political analyst, Dick Morris. Dick, of course, the co-author of Power Grab, Obama's dangerous plan for a one-party nation. Thanks to you both for your time here tonight on Newsmax Prime. Dick, to put it in Trump speak, how huge is this endorsement for the Donald?
Well, I think it's very big. I think that it comes at a time when there had been real concern over his conservative credentials. There had been a concern that he wasn't really pro-life and that a lot of these conservative positions are of fairly recent vintage. And Sarah Palin is very reliably considered kind of like the North Star of conservatism. And by being there and being in the sky there, the compass points to her, and I think that that will help Donald a great deal in the Iowa caucuses.
Scottie Nell, at one point, we were all saying Iowa seemed to be in cruise control. How badly might this Palin endorsement of Donald Trump hurt Ted Cruz?
Well, I think what it does is it actually solidifies the conservative evangelical vote in Iowa and gives it the much-needed bump it does. These boys have been going back and forth, neck and neck, switch-swapping 1 and 2. And so Mr. Trump needed something as it was becoming more and more doubtful about his conservative credentials. They said, listen, good conservatives like Phyllis Schlafly last week with Eagle Forum, and now we've got Sarah Palin, believe in me and believe that I'm a conservative, you should too. So this truly will help him. I do think in Iowa. Now, past Iowa, it's a whole different story, but I think for what it was needed, for what Mr. Trump was wanting to accomplish, this could not have come at a better time.
During her speech, Sarah Palin cited numerous reasons as to why she decided to endorse Donald Trump, among them what she called qualification for a real commander-in-chief. Let's look and listen.
Well, I am here because, like you, I know that it is now or never. I'm in it to win it because we believe in America and we love our freedom and know that the United States military deserves a commander-in-chief who loves our country passionately and will never apologize for this country. A new commander-in-chief who will never leave our men behind. A new commander-in-chief, one who will never lie to the families of the fallen.
So Sarah Palin, Dick Morris, reinforcing that notion of security moms and saying that Donald Trump's ability to be a strong commander-in-chief helped persuade her. Your reaction to that?
Well, there's another side to the Palin endorsement. I have a philosophy about politics, which is that like aircraft in the age of precision-guided munitions, if they see you, they can kill you. And the only way to win is to advance in stealth. Trump isn't good at that. But look at how Obama advanced in the shadow of Hillary Clinton in 2008. I think that this puts Trump completely again center stage and makes the issue of his conservative credentials the issue of the next 2 weeks in Iowa. And I think there is enough on the record back and forth that might prove to be a mixed blessing. I think that there will be a strong effort now by evangelicals, particularly those in Iowa that are supporting Cruz, to besmirch his credentials in this area and to interpret his conversion as less than real. And that might backfire. This is really stepping out and taking it on, saying, it's me, shoot at me, go for me.
Yeah,
The
but
other thing-
getting help in a campaign though, Dick, and Sarah Palin, with the time she spent in Iowa, with her standing, with values voters, you think this is just going to really have this campaign take an aggressive turn and could hurt Donald? That's what you're telling me.
I think there's a potential here for a backfire. I think the other thing is that the more the focus is on Trump, the more the support for Bush and Kasich and Rubio and who am I leaving out, will fade, or Christie. And the more people that are anti-Trump are going to unite around Cruz, the more it becomes a two-way race of Trump versus anti-Trump, with anti-Trump being Cruz. So Donald is taking this move at his own risk, and we'll see if it works. Could backfire.
Well, we'll see about that. We are pleased that the Skyping ability of Scottie Nell Hughes has not backfired. She joins us now via Skype from Nashville, having been on the telephone a little earlier. You heard Dick say that Trump is really putting himself out there, Scottie Nell, and this could backfire. Do you really think Sarah Palin, with her star power and conservative cred, it's going to backfire for him in the Iowa caucus?
You know, I respect Mr. Morris. I definitely respect his opinion. But in the ideas of the people that are following Mr. Trump, he has to solidify in every single different group that he stands in. And one of his weakest groups was his conservative, how he stood with conservatives, especially going up against a Ted Cruz. Like I said, I don't know necessarily if Governor Palin is going to be on the campaign trail much past Iowa. I don't necessarily think he's going to have her up in New England or out in California or other states that she wasn't popular before. But I think for Mr. Trump's strategy, his idea is go big, go large, win it all in Iowa. And I think most people can say if he can win Iowa, which is his most challenging state, the rest of the campaign is going to be pretty smooth for him. And then you'll just see.
There is something else about Dick Trump, about Donald Trump, Dick, that I have to talk about that Sarah Palin mentioned. I'll get your reaction to this, but we want to hear her on the stump talking about Donald Trump's independence from donors and how that makes a difference. Again, look and listen.
Only one candidate's record of success proves he is the master of the art of the deal. He is beholden to no one but we, the people. How refreshing. He is perfectly positioned to let you make America great again.
All right, so you hear that, Dick, and she even said he was going to go rogue in this campaign. Sarah Palin comes in, makes a splash. Your reaction to what she said about this guy being really different, really being the anti-politician?
Well, I think that that's helpful, of course, to Trump, and I think that's a big issue in his favor, particularly with Bernie Sanders raising the stakes of the issue by battering Hillary all over the place with it. But again, the reason Trump is in first place is that it's a 13-way field at last count. If it becomes a two-way field, I'm not sure he stays in first place. Bloomberg did a poll and found that in a two-way field, Cruz beats Trump by 8 points. And Trump's problem is, can he take those voters that are not for him now, but are for one of the more minor candidates, and convert them if it becomes a two-way fight?
So that is the challenge at hand. Let's move from the big news of the endorsement to another major story today. Reports that Hillary Clinton, according to a top inspector general, sent out unsecured, classified information, even exceeding top secret. Dick, the way you put it in a column for our parent website, Newsmax.com, Hillary's email scandal turns deadly. What do you mean by that?
Well, literally. The SAP, which is a specially assigned classification, SAP, specially assigned something, P, is a classification that's used if the release of this information could put agents or intelligence gatherers in harm's way and could result in their death. And to send that kind of information, which is the most secret information there is, over an unsecured server is enormous. And it really means that the intelligence community is going to insist on this provision being enforced. Their lives depend on it. And it's hard to imagine a finding of this sort coming from the Inspector General of the intelligence community and have the FBI and the Justice Department not proceed with official charges.
Scottie, Nell, Hughes, last word to you, 15 seconds.
My problem is if I think that this judicial system is going to allow her to be actually convicted of a crime, then I obviously don't think Barack Obama has put as many people inside the system like it is. It's going to be hard to get a conviction with this administration.
Fair enough. Scottie, Nell, Hughes in Nashville. Dick Morris Skyping in tonight from Connecticut. Folks, you have our thanks. Now, a couple of other notes that we need to tell you about. More on Hillary's problems with our national security panel later in this program, and live later on, about 5 minutes till the top of the hour, former Florida Governor Jeb Bush will join us. A lot of news made today. We'll get Jeb's reaction to what's happening politically and also what's happening in terms of national security with Hillary. There's more coming up as we continue.